Welcome to Crazy Believe with Nelsa. I'm your host, Nelsa, and tonight our video is on how to manifest anything you want through practice. Being a former educator, I do believe that practice makes permanence, not perfection, but permanence. We rewire our brains to be able to take in new information, create new pathways, and learn new material. Manifestation is a skill that can be learned. Trust me, I know I've been working on it myself. So, through my own practice, I wanted to share some tips with you tonight. Tip number one, try to manifest something small that doesn't have a lot of pressure, that is not a huge desire for you, and see what happens. So, for instance, I decided I wanted to manifest a pink feather during Christmas, no less, when pink wasn't a real hot commodity. So, I just kept thinking to myself for a couple days, I'm looking forward to seeing a pink feather. I know that the universe, God, is going to let me see a pink feather. I'm excited about seeing a pink feather. I just kind of kept thinking pink feather for a couple days. And sure enough, I walked into a craft store looking for something that was Christmas related, had nothing to do with the pink feather, wasn't even looking for it actively. I just walked to the store looking for something else on my list. And lo and behold, in the wedding section, I look around and see a bag, probably about so big, with about 4 or 5 small pink feathers. I was so thankful and full, full of gratitude, even over that small practice, because gratitude is step number two. You want to practice gratitude as you're working on your manifestations, even in practice, saying thank you and being grateful for being allowed to see the thing that you had thought about in your mind come to fruition is a great practice to start, because as you start bringing in things that you truly desire, that you really want to have happen, already flexing that gratitude muscle is going to allow you to be able to manifest even more feelings, relationships, positive energy in your life. So, the other practice that I did was I practiced looking for cars that are certain colors. So, as I'm driving on the highway, I may say I want to see a green transfer truck or a green car. Well, as I'm driving down the highway before I get to my destination, green has been in my mind. I don't say what type of green. I don't say how I want it to come. I don't say how many I even want to show up. I just ask, I'd love to see some green cars. Before reaching my destination, sure enough, green cars, green trucks manifest. And I mean lime green. Cannot mistake. This is green. Shows up. And of course, again, thank you. I'm so appreciative of being able to see what I have imagined in my mind is what comes across my thoughts as well. Another thing that I like to practice is looking for loose change, just expecting to see loose change come across my pathway, whether I'm walking out with my family, out when we're at the malls or at stores or what have you, socially distanced and masked properly, of course, during COVID, or if I'm at work, whatever the case may be. Again, I don't limit myself during these practices to specific circumstances where I have to know the when, the how. I only focus on the what. So for the loose change, I may be walking and see pennies or dimes or quarters. And do you all know how difficult it is to find pennies right now? We had all those shortage of coins and whatnot at certain places. So trying to manifest change, that I thought was a pretty good challenge for myself. And still, I was able to be successful in that challenge. So between practicing small items that don't have a lot of value, don't have a lot of pressure, practicing gratitude when you do discover that those things have manifested. And then my third and final one is amping up to what it is that you desire. Being able to have faith that you can see what it is you've envisioned, whatever it is that you've asked for. I think too often we want things, but we don't think we're deserving. We don't think that we'll be able to do it. We'll think it's too hard for us. But in learning to manifest easily, it's letting go of the control or the need for you to do all the work, for you to feel like it's up to me to figure out the best way to make this happen. If you're doing all that, if you're really struggling to make things happen in your life, then that's a sure sign that there's either one, some resistance inside you about the thing. You've got to clean up that resistance. You've got to think, why am I holding this back from myself? Either you don't really think you want it, you don't believe you deserve it, or you're fearful about, either getting it or not getting it and what the consequences may be. And it's very hard to manifest things when you think it's very hard. So whatever you think, you shall be, says Proverbs. If you're going to think about things that you really desire, focus on having that crazy belief in that thing manifesting. That's step one in being able to see it come to life when it gets into those desirables, those things that are really important to you. The next thing is, once you've gotten into that good feeling place, being able to let go of how that thing shows up. So again, just like in the many practices, there's no real pressure. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. But it also works that way with those things that we desire strongly. Not feeling like those things are so major and so important and so high up on the pedestal that we may not possibly